System of equations application, mixture problems. So they always have a grand solution that they want, 90 milliliters. And they want a solution to be inside there, like acid inside of some liquid or salt inside of some liquid. So there's a grand liters or milliliters or quarts of something, and then there's a solution lurking inside there. That's what gives you your two equations. So 90 milliliters of 20% solution is what they want, but they only have a 4% solution and a 40% solution. How many milliliters of each should be mixed together to get the desired solution, which is this? So you make a little chart like this design, and there's always this total liquid, total milliliters, total quarts, total pounds, and then there's a solution, which is the acid, the salt solution, copper, aluminum, that's inside that liquid. So you have one row for total and one row for solution. And then you start naming the variables. Okay, the total. They want the total of the milliliters of the 4% and of the 40%. So X is the milliliters of the 4% solution, and Y is the milliliters of the 40% solution. So across here you create these headings here. 44% solution, 40%, and then the grand total outcome of the 90% solution that you want. So just in the milliliters, there's X milliliters of this 4%, there's Y milliliters of this 40%, and that ends up to total 90 millimeters total. Okay, then we need to know about the solution, whatever's inside there. So there's a 4% solution. So 4% of the grand milliliters is the solution, 4% of it. And there's 40% of Y milliliters of this 40% solution. And that's got to add together to come out to be a 20% solution of this grand amount, 90. Like that. So now you need your two equations. Okay, one equation involves the total. X milliliters plus Y milliliters has to end up to the grand total 90. Then you need your solution equation. 0.04x plus 0.40y totals up to the 20% of the 90, like that. So those are your two. You never add the percentages alone. Never add 0.20 plus 0.40 and you're going to come up with 6. No, never do that, because you see it doesn't even work out right. Never do that. Okay, then we're going to work with these equations. So we get our equations. The number one equation, X plus Y is 90. And the solution equation, 4% of the X milliliters plus 40% of the Y milliliters is the 20% of the 90. There's the two equations. So then we're going to clean up number 2, simplify number 2. So we have here 4% plus 40% of Y, 4% of X plus 40% of Y is 20% of 90. That's what it was. Then we're going to multiply both sides by 100, by 100, and move the decimal over 2 places, and get 4x plus 40y equals, it was 0.20, now it's 20 times 90. Then we're going to use another trick of the trade that we've seen previously. Divide by 4, because 4 divides into all three numbers here. 4 goes into 4 ones, so you get x. 4 goes into 40, 10. 4 greater than 25. Then you multiply out. So you don't work with the big numbers if you don't have to. So that's the cleaned up number 2. So now we go over here and rewrite the system. X plus y is the original number 1. X plus 10y equals 450 is the modified number 2. And our goal is to get rid of one of these variables. X and x are pretty much lined up, but they got to be of opposite signs. So this time I'm going to go -1 times 1 and add it to 2. And that's going to drop out the x's. Now you don't have to do it that way, but that's the way I'm going to take it this time. So just accomplishing that, -1 times 1, -1 times equation 1, distributes out the negative, and you get -x minus y equals -90. And then accomplishing the goal of -1 times equation 1 plus equation 2. Here's -1 times equation 1. Here's equation 2. Add them straight down. The x's cancel out. 10y minus y is 9y. 450 minus 90 is 360. Divide both sides by 9. Y equals 40 milliliters. Get x. We're going to sub into any equation on the page, but the original number 1 looks like the easiest. Here's the original number 1. X plus y is 90. So it's x plus y is 90, but y was found out to be 40 milliliters. So x plus 40 milliliters is 90. X equals, therefore, by subtracting 40 from both sides, 50 milliliters. And then we're going to write it with the story. So we should mix 50 milliliters of the 4% solution with 40 milliliters of the 40% solution to get 90 total milliliters of a 20% solution.